And you can see each one of these vines, if you can find the vines, you can see how stunted they are. In a couple cases, I thought the vines were going to die outright. This one probably looks the best over here, but there's all kinds of weeds growing in here, a lot of crabgrass at this point. There's a lot of pigweed, a lot of other things. We measured these and staked them out, and then everything was rotivated. The treatment where it was the chemical treatment, which is right here, before it was rotivated, these plots and these plots alone were sprayed with glyphosate or Roundup, a generic Roundup. Okay, and then it was rotivated. In something this small, though, you're going to get weeds that are going to be carried from one plot to another during the rotivation process. So like I say, this is an artificial situation. What we have...
Chemical class is really important because what we want to try and avoid in the vineyard pest management is the creation of any kind of resistant populations. And so if you keep spraying the same chemical class over and over and over again, the chances are that whether it's a disease agent or an insect, it will eventually become resistant to that chemical class, and then you can't use it anymore. So, for example, if your spray program was, look on this table, if it was Danitol and then Brigade and then Mustang and then Baythroid and then Danitol and Capture and all those pyrethroids, you'd be changing chemicals, but you'd still be in the same chemical class. And eventually the insects would get used to that, and the ones that could handle the pyrethroids would survive, and you wouldn't be able to use that class anymore.
This year is a bit different in that we had something like 4 major freezes that hit different areas at different times. And so I can't tell you the date when Rick lost grapes.
Mother's Day. I remember a day. What? Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
We lost ours here, for what I'm going to show you, on April 29th. Not Mother's Day. So that's the story. It turns out that we plant juice grapes on sites that are much more prone to freeze damage than wine grapes. And that has in part to do with the whole economic difference between those crops. I took these pictures at 8 in the morning on the day of the freeze, April 29th, in this vineyard. And we have all of this Concord vineyard from here over frost protected, and we've had that in place for 20 years, and we've never lost a crop in this section of vineyard since this vineyard was put in. Now, it would be easy for me to be the academic and say, okay, you guys, just put this in, and that's all you got to do. Well, it's not that simple. First of all, there's a fair amount of cost, which I don't have in my mind, to put the system in. But that's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem is it takes 2,500 to 3,000 gallons of water per hour, per acre, to make this work. So, take the number of acres that you have times 2,500 and see what kind of capacity you would need.